Hi, it's Rebecca here from Precious Pages Papercraft, and today I'm designing a layout for Papermaze. And this month I'm working with the really gorgeous Simple Vintage Seas collection by Simple Stories, and I've been dying to get my hands on this collection for ages. It feels like I've been waiting forever since that first sneak reveal online on their Instagram and Facebook, but it's finally here. And I have to say, I mean, it looks beautiful sort of online, but in real life it's even more stunning, and I'm really enjoying it. This is the first layout I've created using it, but just everything about it is just fab, and I'm a bit of a sucker for all things nautical anyway, so this collection had my name written all over it, but I have sat and streaked it for a little bit before cutting into any of the papers. So I decided that I want to make a layout sort of with a circle background, or background made of circles, should I say. So I've pulled out my metal nesting dies and selected the size I want to use. And now I'm just having a quick flick through the papers, trying to pick some that sort of take my fancy and stand out to me. And I wanted a range of blues and reds. Didn't really want to use sort of all blue papers or all red. So I've gone for papers that have a mix of the two. So this red one here is called By the Sea, and I've also selected Gone Coastal, and I'm going to use both the A and B side of that, and that will bring in a bit of blue as well. And then the last one I use is that lovely stripy paper you can see over on the left of the screen there, and that is called Sandy Shores. So 3 papers in total, but I used the A side and the B side of one, so I end up with 4 different patterns. And I'm going to cut loads of circles. I'm going to skip through this for you because it's very repetitive, and as you can see I have arranged my circles on my background slightly overlapping, and then I have stitched lines on my sewing machine through the centre of each row. Then this thing here was one of the chipboard clusters. So I had a little bit in the middle that I showed you briefly there. I actually used my craft knife and cut the centre out so that I could use it as a frame. Now I do have the Chipboard Frames pack, and there are a couple of circular ones in there, but I really liked this one. It's got a little lighthouse on it and a compass, and it took my fancy, it was speaking to me. And I wanted to put my photo in the centre of it. So with my craft knife I cut out the centre, and that was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And then as you've seen, I've just stuck my photo behind that, and that's going to sit over on the left of my page, because my little boy, just the way he's sitting and the direction he's facing, it's sort of sat more naturally over on the left, having him look across the page. And I'm just adding some craft foam behind that, and I'm going to get that stuck in place pretty soon. I had bent all the corners of these circles up to bring in a bit of dimension, but the ones behind my photo I've just stuck back down flat so that that's got good contact. And then these are the cardstock stickers, and I've selected the one for my title that says On Island Time, and that's because this photo was taken on the Isle of Wight where my parents live, and it really is like they have their own time over there. It just seems like a much slower pace of life. Everything's a bit more relaxed, so I thought this title was just perfect. And I stuck it onto some white cardstock just to make it a bit more sturdy, so it's not sort of flimsy, and then I can move it about a bit if I want to. I'm going to have it overlapping that chipboard frame, so the bit that's going to sit on top of the circles, I've added a couple of layers of foam so that it raises it up, and it's going to sit flat now and it won't dip or sag at all in the middle. But I know where my chipboard frame and my photo are going to sit and that title, so I'm going to commit and get those stuck down straight away. Again, just using double-sided tape with some foam. And already I am loving how this is looking. I mean, I could have just quite easily left it at this, if I'm honest. Those pattern papers are so lovely that I could have probably got away without embellishing too much more. But I can't do that, I have to add. Sometimes I don't know when to stop. So I am going to add a few bits. So I've got a lovely little sailboat there I've cut out. Again, stuck that to cardstock first, and it says Sail Away With Me. And that works really well on this page. Not sure you can see in the photo here, but you'll see in the close-up, my little boy's t-shirt has got sailboats and lighthouses on it. So I thought that sailboat worked really well. I've also just pulled out a couple more chipboard pieces from the Chipboard Clusters pack. So I've got a red starfish I'm going to pop down the bottom of the page. I've got a blue starfish, it's going to go above my title on that chipboard frame. And I'm going to pop an anchor up at the top as well. Now I'm just going through the sticker book, selecting a few things. I love this sticker book, it's got so much in it. But I just select a couple of the little bits of, I suppose they're seaweed really. I was going to say leaves, but they're not. They would be seaweed, wouldn't they? So I've got a red one and a blue one. Again, stuck those onto white cardstock to make them a bit more rigid. And then I will cut those out. I'm going to arrange those on my page. I've also pulled out a little seagull there. He is from the little Page Pieces set. And I really like those little sets you get with a vintage collection. It's just a few die cuts. There's usually a title or something in there. But they're always a really nice little set, and it's quite inexpensive as well. So definitely worth grabbing that. And it's got the most gorgeous lighthouse in it that I can't wait to use. So yeah, for the money, that's actually a really good little set to have, I think. So as I said, I just stuck those bits of seaweed onto some cardstock. So I've just trimmed around those now. I'm going to have them over onto the left of my page and the other side of my photo. Just felt that balanced the page out nicely because I've got the title and that sailboat over on the right. I've also pulled out a die cut compass. Now that cardstock frame already had a little compass on it, but I wanted to bring in a bit more dimension. So I stuck the die cut one. Again, I think that's from the Page Pieces little set. I've popped that up on foam, and then I've got a little banner that's going to go along that says by the seashore. Excuse me, and that is from one of the die cut sets. I think it's the Nautical Bits set. So going to have that, and that just brings in a little bit more turquoise because that stripy paper I've used has got some turquoise in it, but it doesn't really appear anywhere else on the page or in anything else I use. So I wanted to just bring in a little bit just to sort of give a nod to that. So that die cut is going to sit along the bottom of my compass and my frame. And then I'm just working my way around now, getting bits stuck in place, raising edges up with foam and things like the tips of those seaweeds I've raised up with foam. This little seagull here is going to get raised up on foam. And again, I think he's from the Nautical Bits set. I'm a sucker for seagulls. I just love them on anything sort of sea or beach related. So got him stuck on the left over there. Just trying to get all the dried glossy accents off of the pin now with my scissors. I have to do that every now and then. But I have stuck the chipboard pieces down with glossy accents because I do find it gives a bit of a stronger hold, and chipboard over time tends to dry out and ping off, especially in albums and things. So I always use the glossy accents behind my chipboard. Now back to the sticker book, and I'm just, I've selected 3 stickers from this little kind of phrases. I've got one that says ocean air, one that says just beachy, and the final one says coastal memories. And again, raising those up on foam for a bit of dimension, and I'm going to layer those in the sort of 2 corners, top left and bottom right, just so that I've got kind of like a diagonal design going on. So I've got that sticker at the top with the anchor, diagonally coming down I've got obviously my photo in that chipboard frame with the seaweed, and then I've got my title, and then that extends further down to that starfish, and the last 2 kind of phrase stickers from the sticker book there. And now no beachy page is complete in my eyes without at least one Bramble Fox acrylic seagull perspective on it. And I love that these are still in stock. I think they were meant to be limited edition to start with, but they've become a permanent feature because everybody loves them so much. So they've still got a pack left. And I'm just having a play. I initially had 3 on the page, sort of facing different directions and different styles. And I keep having a play here until I'm happy. And in the end, I settle on 2. So I'm going to have one just underneath my photo and one just above my sailboat there, kind of flying up the page almost. And again, using my glossy accents. I always use glossy accents for chipboard, acrylic perspectives and sequins. I just find it holds much stronger. And you can get glossy accents from Papermaze, which is really handy. Don't have to shop anywhere else, you can get everything you need from Papermaze. And then I'm just finishing the page off with some white splatters, and this is white gesso that I've just watered down ever so slightly, and I prefer to use that over my acrylic paint because I find with my acrylic paint it kind of soaks into the patterned papers and sort of becomes the colour of the paper almost, whereas the gesso tends to sit on top and dry a bit more white. So gesso tends to be my go-to for my white splatters. And that is my layout finished. So So I hope you've enjoyed this layout and it's given you some inspiration. I've had a bit of a dip in mojo lately, and this collection has seriously kick-started me, and I've got that feeling of wanting to go and sit at my desk again, and that is all down to this collection. So I'm really excited to create some more layouts with it. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. I certainly enjoyed making this one and I love how it turned out. I will pop some links in the description box for you to the Papermaze store, where you'll find this collection in stock in full. And also to our Papermaze blog, where you can find links to all the products I've used, and obviously you'll find inspiration there from other members of our design team as well, so well worth popping over to have a read. But thanks again for joining me, and I will see you next time.